It is Thursday, the 4th day of November, 2021. I have a very, very important question to ask. Just how big do you think Pete Davidson's dick is? I am not the only one currently asking this question, so I'm throwing it out to my 5 listeners. Are we talking like Milton Berle big? Are we talking Huey Lewis big? This goofy bastard is up there in the current list of preeminent swordsmen in America. Cassie David, Ariana Grande, Kaya Gerber. Do you know who Kaya Gerber is? That's Cindy fucking Crawford's daughter. And then, flip side of the coin, Kate fucking Beckinsale. And now, Kim Kardashian. I obviously don't know the man from a hole in the wall, but I'll go ahead and assume he's a good guy. Again, I don't know that. That's just kind of the vibe that I get. It's all. But he's not exactly handsome, right? I mean, I wouldn't say that. Then again, I'm not trying to fuck the guy, so obviously my opinion is moot, but not entirely moot. I mean, I can say if I can say if somebody's handsome, and I don't really think he's that handsome. I don't know. Having said all that, I mean, good for you, Pete. I'm sure you're listening to the program. I hope you find what you're looking for while shagging your way through a list of beautiful women. All that and more on episode number 97. This is a tough one, folks. There's really only one athlete that wears number 97, Connor McDavid of the Edmonton Oilers. But quite frankly, I don't really want to talk about him. He's too good, and aside from that, I know very little about him. So I went looking for other 97s. Did you know that nobody on the Bruins has ever worn a number past 92? I found that odd. Yeah, I don't know. No one's worn 99. I don't know if that's retired through the whole league. It very well could be. I'm not sure. But so other 97s, the old 97s, Rule 97 from the Geneva Conventions, which is no human shields. IBEW Local 97 of New York. The Wilson Pro Staff 97 tennis racket. And Jimmy Carter is still kicking at the age of 97. Has any former president had a more productive post-presidential career than Jimmy Carter? Now, some get back into politics. I think it was Grover Cleveland who ended up being a Supreme Court justice. I think it was Grover Cleveland. But Jimmy just spent his time on the farm and built houses for poor people. The other guy seems like a good dude. Yep. Okay, then. That's all right here, right now, on Complaints and Observations.
Still, the most less than average podcast on the internet. With a host who's the smartest person in the room when he's the only one there. A continuing odyssey into mediocrity. Guaranteed to make you question your life choices and your own sanity. This is Complaints and Observations with Dave LaPointe. Who the hell is Dave LaPointe?
Hello there. Welcome to the show. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you. How are you? Everything okay? Feeling all right? Yeah. Glad to hear that. Say hi to your mom for me. I don't know why I just said that. That was a dumb SNL bit. I think it was Andy Samberg was impersonating Mark Wahlberg. I think that's what it was. Not that funny. And I don't know why I said that. And I tell you why I said I did that. I'm not a funny person. I think I'm pretty witty and clever occasionally in mixed company, meaning when there's someone else to sort of riff off of. Because somebody had mentioned to me via email the other day, because I had sent out um, an email, I guess, marketing campaign via my website to my 35 email subscribers. And of the 7 of the 35 that actually opened the email, one of them said that it's like, oh, your writing is kind of funny. So I'm like, all right, kind of funny works. But then I thought about it more. I'm like, oh, yeah, I mean, I'm not, I'm not the kind of person that could sit and like formulate a stand-up set, if you will, like jokes, not that kind of funny. I think mainly because I'm just not that funny. I don't know. I've had people tell me that I'm funny, and I think it's more clever and witty than funny. I think there's multiple different things. I mean, a lot of people disagree with that too, but what can you do? You can't win them all, right? But anyway, bunch of stuff to talk about today. Unfortunately, there's a lot of sports today, but it won't be like super sportsy. It won't be like X's and O's and shit like that. More observations on dumb sports stuff. But one thing that's not sports related right off the jump, I just want to give a big shout out to the Honda Fit Click. We haven't had a Honda Fit Click update in quite some time. So shout out to my fellow Honda Fit owners. This week, my Honda Fit went in for an inspection sticker, passed with flying colors. So we are 11 years deep, pumped, psyched that we get another year, knock on wood, of the Honda Fit. So Honda Fit Click represent. Still working on a Honda Fit, like signal hand gesture that I can make to other Honda Fit owners that, is just a wink and a nod. Like, hey, I see what you're driving. Smart. Maybe that could be it, where you just like point at your noggin, or you flip them off. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be so great if you could get that to actually stick. Oh man, if you see another Honda Fit, you just fucking put your hand out the window and flip them off. And then you get a jubilant uh, middle finger right back. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that was kind of funny, right? I don't know. I thought it was. I was laughing. Um, not funny. This has been covered ad nauseum since last week when local legend Jerry Remy passed away. I can't say anything that hasn't already been said multiple times, mainly because I didn't know the man. So, it was only through television and things that I read and whatnot. But, the one thing that you heard a lot of is when you're a baseball fan and when you invest a ton of time into baseball, you become the announcers become so such a big part of your life, right? Because baseball's a long season. It's a nightly commitment for 6, 7 months out of the year. And then, you hear these people more than you hear your friends and family talk, right? So here's this guy on TV every night who sounded like people you knew, sounded like people that you know, um, may have been from where you were from, that kind of a thing. So he became, I would say, a little bit more of a presence just because he was local, right? And it's the great story, the kid who grew up a Red Sox fan and then played for the Red Sox. I mean, that was every kid around here. That was their fucking dream in the, you know, I would say, Christ, I don't know, 30 years from like 1970 to, well, probably not, 67. So I would say for about 40 years, so 1960 to 2000, maybe up to 2010. So maybe for 50 years. That was a lot of kids' dream, was to play for the Boston Red Sox or to be a part of the Red Sox in some way. And here's this kid from dinky little Somerset, Massachusetts, 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing, managed to make the team. Not make the team, David, you fucking idiot. Managed to make it to the big leagues and eventually play for the Red Sox. So, feel good story, great thing. And he was a part of your nightly routine for a number of years. You heard him, you laughed with him. And I mean, the guy went through hell on multiple occasions, and not just with his health, but with his son as well. So the guy went through a fucking lot. What a grind. An absolute grind. The guy fought like hell. I mean, good for him. Good for him. And it's sort of, you like the fact that he got that, the last hurrah, if you will, for the wild card game versus the Yankees when he came out for the first pitch, and it was touching. It was nice. And that sort of thing got me thinking about like local celebrity, the greatness of local celebrity. Granted, he was bigger than just your run of the mill local celebrity. But I mean, has that waned? Has the local celebrity sort of gone away with the advent of the internet and the sort of global connectivity amongst folks now, so that the regional celebrity that you would only sort of see in like local commercials, or on the radio, things like that, that's gone, right? I would say so. That doesn't really exist anymore. And the ones that are still around are old timers. I was trying to think of a few, for this example, like the Sullivan Tire guy, for example. He's sort of a local celebrity because the guy's been on television for damn near 30 fucking years. Probably more than that. Like DJs, big time local celebrities. Those don't exist anymore. There's some, but I mean, they're sports radio guys now, or talk radio guys or gals. But yeah, the local celebrity, you just don't see it anymore. It's a shame. It's one of these things that progress is sort of left behind. And you sort of you miss it, obviously, because you like the connectivity of the localness. The localness, David? Yeah, the localness of said local celebrity brings to your daily life, right? I don't know. I probably should have done a little bit more work to like suss that out, but it kind of ties into last week thing when I was talking about nostalgia and whatnot, and how I'm not terribly prone to nostalgia. And then here I am being nostalgic for Jerry Remy and local celebrities. I don't know. What can you do? Like Fred. Remember Fred from Dunkin' Donuts? That guy, local celebrity, right? And I wonder if that's it. Like, these commercial folks like that were on TV forever and a day. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know. But yeah, Jerry Remy. That sucks. The one thing you always say is that, I'm glad they're not suffering anymore. And in this guy's case where he fucking had cancer 7 goddamn times, like, that's apt. So I mentioned the email subscriber list marketing campaign that I did earlier this week, and much to my chagrin, one of the people that opened said email was low-level troll listener of the program who will remain nameless because I don't want to give him that satisfaction. However, he did send me an email talking about a buddy of his. Now, said troll is a big-time MAGA guy, like classic red hat wearing sucker. But this story I found rather interesting. So he starts telling me about this kid, and he is a kid. He's only 35. His name's Matt Lynch, and Mr. Lynch was a Braintree teacher for 10 years, and made the unfortunate decision to attend the field trip, as they call it, to the Capitol on the 6th day of January, 2021. Now, Ed claims that he did not enter the building, and which is probably accurate because the total number was relatively low versus the number of attendees. Okay, I'm not the biggest fan of the people that chose to attend for a number of different reasons, but there are some that were on the periphery that weren't there to light the place on fire. I would say it's a 50-50 split, but I'm biased. But anyway, so Mr. Lynch was a teacher, and apparently someone within the town of Braintree found out that he took the time to go to DC, didn't like it, got the FBI involved. A whole fucking big stink to do, okay? He eventually resigns from being a teacher. Now, I don't know if he was forced. I would hope he wasn't forced because that would just be fucking shitty. But he did resign. As he's handing in his resignation, apparently, to the superintendent, he says, "I'm going to run for school committee." Now, he and I may not have similar political views, but that is tasty ass revenge of the highest form, is it not? Normally, when you have folks in this position, they either don't have the means to exact such revenge, or it's not, there's no specific correlation to getting even with the person who's ratted you out. But in this particular instance, Mr. Lynch decided he is going to completely probably make some people very uncomfortable for the next couple of years. And sure enough, what happens? He actually gets in. Voting was this week. Mr. Lynch gets in. He was one of the 3 top vote getters, and now he will be sitting on the school committee, which it's wild. I mean, you have to give it up for him for going for it. Now the question is, how much shit is he going to stir? And my guess is it's going to be quite a lot. But I read I couldn't find a ton about this guy. Obviously beyond what I was told by Nameless Troll, who in his email said, "quote MAGA came out in Braintree last night." End quote. Oh, terrific! You can pat yourselves on the back, gentlemen. I'm sure you're all very pleased. Um, you know, it's the same. It's the same sort of BS. I'm trying to think of the right word for it, but the usual complaints, I guess, from that side of the aisle. And I don't know the guy, so I can't pass judgment. But just based on his answers to this particular little survey, again, we're going to be in different orbits when it comes to politics. But as I said, kudos to him for fucking shoving that shit right back in their face. I mean, that is a ballsy ass move. But I mean, he doesn't. He's not. Apparently, Braintree got rid of their mascot, which is essentially, another one of these Indian terms that, the old white folk back in the day, like, oh, let's name everything in this fucking state after an Indian for some weird ass fucking reason. I don't understand that. What the fuck's the point? And so apparently he's butthurt about that. I was pleased to not read anything about critical race theory, so kudos again. Who knows if in private he's got different things, but what I'm reading here on this particular website that asked him questions about his candidacy, he talks about the single biggest issue is kids' mental health. So good on you, sir. That's great. So I mean, kudos to Matt Lynch of the Braintree School Committee for having the balls to fucking step up and throw that right back in their face. Everything else, meh. But that right there, nicely done. Way to go. And it so the fact that that I got that email from Nameless Troll, because he said he went to celebrate at a local establishment. It's like, man, having that much of your social life tied up with your political beliefs is odd. So that every time you lose, it's a big fucking deal. It's a massive deal that is so impactful, or that you think is so impactful to your life. I don't know. Read a book, watch TV, grow plants. I don't know. Like, do something else, like with your life. And I know this guy does more than that, but I mean, it's just there are way too many people out there, especially now, where their whole social life is tied into politics and their political beliefs that they get from one or two sources. And so that everything on the periphery is a lie or wrong. And I think that's, I mean, you gotta, yeah. I don't know. I just find that so fucking strange that you would care that much. I mean, you have to care to a point, right? But only to a point. And that's my opinion. I just don't see why you would spend so much fucking time agonizing over shit you have no control over. The only thing you can control is what is your vote. It's the good part about being in a democracy. Beyond that, that's it. Go live your life. And it's the same, it's the same on the other side of the aisle too. Don't confuse this to be that I'm only sort of slagging one side of the aisle here, because it's both. Although on the left, it seems to be far more, what's the term I'm looking, digital activism, right? Where there's, a bunch of Twitter heroes, a lot of rats and narcs on Twitter. Twitter narcs are the fucking worst, right? And it seems to be far more prevalent on the left than it is on the right, because on the right, they just grab their gun in some cases and go marching. So it's two different things, but it's essentially the same. But the Twitter narcs and the digital activism, it's just a little much. Like, man, oh man, how many fucking retweets do I need to see of the same fucking thing? You know, you like things, and that's fine. I'm guilty of it, but I mean, I'm not sitting there making fucking 85 tweet threads talking about something. There has to be a more um, effective way to do things, right? One of the ways is to run for office, sort of like what Mr. Lynch did, which is why it's so commendable. If you have that big of a problem with shit, fix it. Do something about it. It's I don't know. I find it's so fucking strange to me. It's on both on both sides of the aisle. If you have a problem, fix it. Like, action. Do something about it. Nameless fucking troll. All right, let's get into the pseudo sportsy portion of the program. If you are not here for sports, um, I'm going to ask that you stick around anyway because it's not entirely sportsy. I mean, it is kind of, but not really. First and foremost, big news today, Wednesday, as I record the day prior. I need to fix that illusion, right? Is that a thing? Like, should I do that? I don't know. I always like this, when I start the show and give the date, I'm giving the date of when the show is released. I don't know. And it's funny because I do that in thinking to myself, oh, okay, well, someone can listen to that while they're at work or whatever. Maybe I should put it out earlier under the guise of, people commuting. I don't know. I know very few people that commute anymore. Anyway, um, Aaron Rodgers got the Rona. Okay. Now, here's the problem with this guy. I don't know. And I'm so fucking sick and tired of talking about this shit. I'm just so fucking. It's such a boring topic, vaccines. It's so boring. It's boring. Maybe because I just can't wrap my head around the whole backlash. From some people, I just don't get it. I don't know. That's just me. But anyway, so here's Aaron Rodgers. Okay, gets COVID, and the big thing is that he allegedly, according to some folks, was saying that he was vaccinated. Well, it turns out he didn't. What he did do was every time he was asked was use a bunch of not buzzwords, but he talked his way around it without actually saying it. So apparently the story goes is that earlier this season, might have been even prior to start of the season, he was asked if he was vaccinated and said, "Yes, I am immunized." And nobody really caught it at the time. I'm sure some people did, but nobody forced the issue. Um, and it comes out today that he went to his personal doctor for quote homeopathic treatment to boost his antibodies, end quote. Like, you go through all that trouble. Like, what's he fucking taking? Horny goat weed, ginseng, iron. You pop in like an extra vitamin C tablet in the morning. What are you doing? It just comes off as is so fucking disingenuous and almost cowardly. I'm not going to say that that it's not, because apparently the league was aware that he wasn't vaccinated, but it never really became a thing. So instead of him saying it and owning it, he chose to dance around it. So he was a pussy about it. Unlike that fucking doofus, Kirk Cousins, who was up front from the jump And you know something? I have way more respect for that guy than I do for Aaron Rodgers, you know, fucking tap dancing around it. Just fucking say it. Like, what? And it makes me wonder, like, what the fuck are you so afraid of, buddy? You don't want to jeopardize your Jeopardy job? See what I mean? Is that it? Wouldn't surprise me if that was it, because, he's been so fucking carefree and whatever else all season long, because, he probably ate some shrooms in the off season with his fucking crunchy fiance. I got a sneaking suspicion that girl doesn't bathe. She just looks like she smells bad, right? What a horrible assumption on my part. But how many other guys in the league are in the same boat or have done the same shit? You've already seen one guy in the NHL get busted for a fake vaccine card, Evander Kane, who's kind of a fucking idiot to begin with. And then he got busted again for this shit. But I mean, how many dudes are being fucking sneaky instead of just owning it? Like Kirk Cousins and Carson Wentz. Clearly not getting vaccinated has affected Carson Wentz because he can't fucking throw a football suddenly. Dumbass. Cousins has been good. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Like, what a pussy. Don't do that. Own it. Like, you're the highest paid player in the league. What the fuck do you care? You got guarantees for this season, right? Yeah. Suck it up. Own it. They're still gonna pay you anyway. What the fuck does it matter? Stupid. So now he's gonna miss at least one game, maybe two. It just puts the team, just like not being vaccinated puts other people in a bad spot, potentially. Now you've potentially put your team in a bad spot. They play the Chiefs and then the Seahawks. Not, the toughest teams in the league, but still. You need to be there for your teammates. If nothing else, for your teammates. But instead you chose to fucking to take valerian root and a couple extra B12 tabs, thinking that it was somehow going to boost your antibodies. What the fuck, man? Good lord. But yeah, what's her name? Shailene something. Can't remember her fucking last name. She probably smells like cabbage. The other sportsy topic, the NHL. Now, if you're not familiar with this, and specifically the Chicago Blackhawks covering up a sexual assault from 2010, and it has led to a bevy of people losing their jobs. The kid who was assaulted actually came forward, said, "Hey, it was me." An incredibly powerful interview. I mean, honestly, you don't really hear that very often, but I mean, this kid, like, good on him for stepping up and talking about it. But the NHL continues to be painfully stupid. Gary Bettman specifically. The guy's a lawyer, okay? So he knows how to dance around shit. He knows how to not take blame. He knows how to be a fucking meat shield for owners, which is the job of a commissioner in sports these days. Roger Goodell, meat shield. Rob Manfred, meat shield. Adam Silver, less of a meat shield, but still a meat shield. Bettman comes out and he's, not saying that, not explicitly saying that what the Blackhawks did in covering this up is worse, which, sexual assault is worse than what some other teams did that got larger penalties. The Devils, for example, like salary cap circumvention, It's like a $3 million fine, loss of draft picks, something like that. The Arizona Coyotes like worked out a player when they weren't supposed to. I could be getting those two wrong, but either way, so there was 3 million in draft picks from one, 5 million in loss of draft picks for another. Meanwhile, Chicago just got a simple $2 million fine, and it's like, oh well, it was a substantial fine. Was it? Was it really? You know what the average value of an NHL franchise is right now? 658 million. That's average. The Blackhawks are on the higher end. So I mean, the guy that owns the team can afford the $2 million fine without a problem. So it wasn't a punishment. And Gary Bettman's up there saying, "Well, it's two different circumstance." Yeah, one's way fucking worse, dude. One's way worse. But you chose not to fucking, substantially punish these people. And there are still guys who were there and may have known about this who still are gainfully employed elsewhere in the league. Apparently, the GM for the Winnipeg Jets is one of them. But it's just dumb. It's just again, what would be the worst thing that would happen if Gary Bettman came and said, "You know what? We're going to reassess that penalty. There could be more coming down. What's going to happen? Is the guy going to? You think the owner of the Blackhawks is going to sue the league for a larger penalty because they got a larger penalty after the fact? What? No. Realize the PR ramifications of that? No fucking way. No fucking way. So, no surprise when Gary Bettman came out and was dumber than usual. I half expected it to be slightly less dumb, but that's on me. I shouldn't have guessed that. I should have known he was going to do something stupid, and sure enough, that's what he did. So, yeah. I mean, look into that. And then, I wish I could remember the kid's name. Fucking A. Oh, my brain is mush. Fuck. I can't remember the kid's name. Shit. Fuck. The kid's name's Kyle Beach. Kyle Beach. Look it up. All right. Thrilled to have a couple of voicemails from a new anonymous listener. So I'm going to share those. I'm going to talk about each. So I'm going to do I'll play the first one, and then I will play the second one. Wait, hold on. I will play the first one, talk about it, play the second one, talk about it. Wow, Dave.
Hey, I'm calling. I'm really blessed to already know that I'm going to be on the show. Anyways, this is I don't even give a fuck if this is anonymous or not, but I was listening to episode 96, and you were talking about people who talk to you about irrelevant shit at a football game, and I don't know how to say it, but I fucking hate when people are trying to talk to me at a football game about other football games. I'm in Boston, so I go to a Patriots game. I don't want to fucking watch your iPhone tell me what's going on with the Kansas City game. I'm literally at Foxborough watching the Patriots. Why would I give a shit about that? I don't even know you. So, yeah, that's my complaint, Just, know your audience, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ.
That's the kind of fucking calls that when I created this stupid call-in line, this is exactly the kind of shit that I was looking for. Awesome. Just fucking awesome. Thank you so much. However, the word blessed, probably not. Probably not. Anyways, 1000% correct. The callback to the last show, talking about the storytellers at Gillette Stadium. Accurate, very accurate. Like, just shut the fuck up. Like, I don't know you, and you're obviously fucked up and shit faced. You know, like there's obviously, I'm here to watch the game. I don't need stories. It's not welcome. So yeah, I'm glad someone else is in agreement here. So thank you.
Hey, so I just like talked about how annoying it was when people at a Patriots game were talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, and I have another complaint, and it really comes down to maybe I'll get some backlash from you. You know, you're welcome to have your own opinion about what I'm about to talk about, but I absolutely hate like the fact that I'm getting the booster shot like shoved down my throat. I don't think any of us know actually like what's going on with the vaccines or like, you know, who's in whose pockets really. I've read a lot about how Pfizer is doing a lot of paid advertising, and you know, it's like been pretty blatant. Like, you know, some of the ads will be like, this was paid for by Pfizer. So at least I'm taking a stance of that I got my 2 vaccines from Moderna, and I'm not getting any more, like, beyond, like, further research on it. You know, because, like, to begin with, all of this is pretty short term. So I kind of just have a complaint about how the general public, you know, they act like they are just like going off of what the major news outlets are going off of, but like we don't even know who's paying them to do whatever. And on top of that, there's people like Joe Rogan, like, and I'm not saying I like worship this guy. I'm just saying there's nobody paying that guy to do anything, like to express his opinions about the antibodies or about what is it, Zicam. You know, like I'm not saying I'm getting Zicam, or ivermectin. That's what it is. Fuck, sorry. Yeah, it's a Friday night. What do you expect? But anyways, I just think we all need to kind of, you know, we don't need to do our own research, but we also need to like approach these kind of subjects with a little bit more like caution and make sure everything we're looking at is like, you know, academically reviewed, for instance. So that's my complaint, that like everybody's fucking idiots, basically. Thank you.
Oh, that one was way better than the first one. So thank you again, anonymous caller. Oh, that was fucking great. There's a lot to unpack there. So before I do, listen, 617 657 4736. If you have a complaint and it's literally about anything, call in like my anonymous caller. Honestly, I could not be more thrilled with how that last one came out. There was so much going on and so much, like I said, to unpack. So, a couple things. He doesn't like the idea of having the COVID booster shot shoved down his throat. I haven't really seen that yet. I don't know. Maybe I'm paying attention to different sources than he is, but I mean, I haven't seen it. You know, I have a lot of a lot of people that I know in my life that want a booster. I think, you know, in my mind, I still haven't seen anything that clearly says that you need it. So, you know, until I see something that's not paid for by Pfizer that's saying that, you know, I might wait myself. But at the same time, I'm ready for it. Like, give me 6, 7, 8, 9 more. I don't give a shit. You know, the further research on it, these types of coronaviruses, they've been studying for a very long time, and you know, these the vaccines have been worked on in various forms for various coronaviruses for a while now. That's what I think, and that's what I've read, and that's what I've learned. So I'm going to stick with that. The big thing that I think he was talking about was Pfizer making money and then paying to advertise their vaccine, which obviously they're a drug company. Their fucking number one goal is to not, make people healthy. It's to make fucking money, especially in this country. You kidding me? Big pharma is a fucking massive problem. And Pfizer is no different. Moderna, J&J, none of them. They're all fucking shady characters, each and every one of them. Each and every one of them. They don't fucking care if they want to make sure that you take their shit. That's the goal. It sucks that, we've devolved as a society. We're one of two countries on earth where drug companies can advertise their drugs. The other is New Zealand. I don't know if I've mentioned that on the show before. I may have, but the other is New Zealand, of all places, which I found a little bit odd. But nowhere else on earth are you going to get dumb fucking ads for random ass drugs that go on a 30-second tirade of possible side effects, including a gangrenous perineum in some cases. I wish I could remember that drug, but thankfully I can't, but it's disgusting. So yeah, I got a big fucking problem with that. But that's a much larger issue. The other thing, turn off the fucking stop watching major media outlets. Find other sources of information. The internet is full of information. 90% of it bullshit. I love that he said Zycam. That was awesome. I love that that he was clearly in the car when he thought of this. I love that he was possibly under the influence of something. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe that's just how he is. I don't know. But you open the car door in the middle of his fucking rant. Oh, that was awesome. He did mention Joe Rogan. I don't really have an issue with Joe Rogan. He's not, I don't know. Good for him. He's getting paid. Don't think he's not getting paid. That dude makes a fucking shit ton of money. He gets paid every time he reads a fucking ad. But I wouldn't use Joe Rogan as my main source of information when it comes to anything scientific. I would use that educational research, if you will. But love that. Please keep calling. Call as many times as you fucking want. Because that was pure gold. 617-657-4736. 617-65 Rip 'em. All right, before I get into three gripes, I did want to mention friend of the show, former guest of the show, Jimmy G, of the South Shore Bar Pizza page on Instagram. SS Bar Pizza on Instagram. He's getting ready to kick off his tournament, his yearly tournament. Well, not yearly. I think he's done it twice this year, but whatever. Bracket style tournament for 69 bar pizza establishments in the South Shore and beyond. He's got a cool concept where the winner of his previous tournament, which was Next Page Cafe in Weymouth, free ad, Next Page Cafe, Weymouth. He's going to run this tournament, and then the winner of the tournament goes up against the Next Page Cafe in a winner-take-all style battle. Now, the cool part is Jimmy started a GoFundMe page, right, where the winner of the tournament is going to decide where to donate all the money that he collects to a charity of their choice. And Jimmy, being the stand-up guy that he is, put his money where his mouth is and made the first donation of $1,000. A G from Jimmy G. So good on you, Jimmy. That's fucking ballsy. It's a cool fucking idea. I may have to steal that somehow in some small way. I made a very small donation, or the show made a very small donation. Not nearly as massive as Jimmy G's, because the show is very poor. Very, very poor. But check it out. Go to Instagram, SS Bar Pizza. The link to the GoFundMe page is right in the bio. It's a cool fucking idea. Honestly, it's very different. I thought it was cool as hell, which is why I'm sharing it. So check it out. And now it is time for everybody's favorite portion of the program. It is time for 3 gripes. Gripe number 1, professional buzzwords. I get a raft of emails from recruiters, LinkedIn, Indeed. I just never bothered to turn off all these notifications when I got my last job. So as I'm wont to do, I peruse them because you just never know. But I have found that the number of dumbass buzzwords that are in these ads and that companies love to fucking use are so goddamn absurd. Disrupting the industry. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Why do you have to use the word disrupt? Why can't you say, hey, we're going to try to be different than other companies? Disrupting the industry. You're not disrupting anything. You're just, slightly different than somebody else. So whatever industry you're in, it's almost a guarantee that you're not alone. And then as you dig into these things, especially in the ads, the actual ads themselves and what they're looking for, like the term self-starter. What the fuck does that mean? Self-starter. What else is there? You don't have it's not like there's a wind-up thing on your back and someone has to turn it every morning, right? You don't have a pull chain coming out your ass. Self-starter. What a dumb fucking term. And then we're looking for a rock star. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're looking for someone that's going to fall in line and do what they're told. Stop. A rock star. Shut your fucking mouth. Passionate. So you want someone who doesn't have a social life outside of work is what you want. Someone that spends an inordinate amount of time working. That's what you're looking for. You're not looking for someone who's smart, intelligent, and can do the job. You want, a serf, an indentured servant. When they say in these trying times, instead of just saying, hey, we're in the middle of a fucking pandemic. In these trying times. It's the same when you get emails, like cold emails from people. I hope you're managing well in these trying times. What? When companies say that we're not a company, we're a family. No, you're not. You're definitely not a family. Unless your idea of family is like everybody else's, which is there's a lot of passive aggressiveness. There's a lot of outright anger at one another. Bitterness, jealousy. If that's the kind of family that you're talking about, then all right, sure. But you're not a family. You're a company. You're my employer. You're not my fucking brother. Shut the fuck up. Thinking out of the box. We all know that that's stupid. So I'm just going to leave that there. And then when they say, this is probably the one that I really don't get. Okay. So you have a company that says they're sitting at the intersection of, and then it's like 2 industries, right? Pick one. Because you know what that tells me is you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You don't know who you are. You're not at all self-aware. If you're saying that you sit at the intersection of 2 different industries. That's not going to fly. It's not going to work. You got to pick one. Professional buzzwords. Gripe number 2, status obsession on LinkedIn and other social channels. This one came from another listener of mine. Thank you, Brian. It was a while ago, but it's been on the list, and I was thinking about it the other day. Again, when I was on LinkedIn, I've talked about how much I fucking hate LinkedIn and how it's almost worse than fucking Facebook because it is so disingenuous and so phony. But there's nothing worse than the pat on the back, the self pat on the back on LinkedIn, because you're obsessed with, having the catchiest title, the catchiest headline. The goal should not be, LinkedIn should be updates on your company, things that you're doing at your job, and job postings. There's probably more than that too, but the obsession with status, and it's a big and it kind of goes back to what I said last week about Facebook, where they know full well how damaging not getting enough likes, what that does to teenage girls and to younger girls. It fucks them up when they don't get a shit ton of likes on a picture that they post. Fucks them up because they're obsessed with that status. It's a giant popularity contest, and it's a problem. It just seems that, look, we're supposed to be professional adults here on LinkedIn. The fucking self-fellatio is not, it's not needed. It's not wanted. Yet it's all over the place. It's baffling to me. I read a really nice piece on competition today, and it was, competition in some regards can be very healthy, but at the same time, when your entire life is centered on being the best, you'll never get there, ever, because perfection is impossible. Being the best is impossible. There's always going to be somebody who can do something better than you. Always. And so being so fucking obsessed and driven to be super popular on LinkedIn, I don't get it. It's not healthy. Gripe number 3, also not healthy, drive-thru etiquette. Now, this is a tried and true gripe. Everyone has this same fucking problem, okay? There really should be a maximum number of items that you can order at the drive-thru, especially now, like right this minute, where having actual labor in a McDonald's, Wendy's, Dunkin' Donuts, whatever, it's a big problem. So the last thing you need is someone literally clogging up the drive-thru lane, right? When somebody gets up there and orders like 14 fucking things, and there's 2 people in the car, you got to fucking send them around. Or you could immediately tell them to park. Immediately. Like, hey, go park. We'll bring that shit out eventually, and someone will be there shortly to collect your money. You need to keep that line flowing and moving for the people that are just there for, a single combo meal, a coffee. It's probably not as bad at coffee shops, but I was at Honeydew the other day. Honeydew's the only drive-through coffee that I get, because fuck Dunkin' Donuts, and there's no Starbucks around here. So I'm at Honeydew, and there's one person in front of me, and this woman must have ordered literally 14, 15 things, and she was in the car by herself. They get the fuck out of the car. Get out of the car. And if somebody says to me, well, maybe that person can't get out of the car, well, then you know what? They probably shouldn't be fucking ordering 14 things at a fucking Honeydew. So somebody needs to start this, right? 3 items max if you're a single person in a car. Now, that can be 3 combo meals or 3 items, okay? If there's a couple in the car, you get 5 items. 5 items. And then 1 or 2 additional items per additional person in the vehicle. So if it's a family of 5, right? They get 5 for the couple. Let's be generous and say 2 for the 3 children. So now that's 11 items. A combo meal consists of one item. So if you're ordering 2 combo meals and 3 kids meals, you're fine. It's still a shit ton of food, but you're okay. You can go. What you can't do is the 2 combo meals, 2 orders of nuggets, 2 shakes, and then the fucking 3 kids meals. Nope, sorry. You're going to go park. You're going to go park. We'll be out to collect your money, and you'll get your food in 30 minutes. Fuck you. Because you're just holding up the line. You're so fucking selfish. And now with like the advent of ordering on the app and all this shit where you could order ahead of time instead of holding up the line, it's such a listen to me, like it's just brutal. Drive-thrus. I don't go to drive-thrus anymore. I go to Honeydew. I fucking try like hell not to eat fast food. And when I do, it's rare. I don't eat a lot of it anymore. I used to fucking eat it like every goddamn day. Not anymore. Yeah, not anymore. I'm still a fat fuck. What's it matter? Anyways, that's it for the show. Thank you as always for listening. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. I ask you kindly to tell your friends and tell your mom too. I bet your mom needs something to listen to. So this would probably be the last thing that she would want to listen to, but tell her anyway. As I said, 617-657-4736. That is the complaint line. Call in, leave a voicemail. You'll be on the show. I know you want to. I know you have something to complain about. Call in. I have a website, complaintsandobservations.com. You can go there. That's where the blog lives. You can check it out. You can also subscribe to the email list. Bottom of the page, put in your email. Boom, subscribed. I have a Twitter page, @ComplaintsPod. Check it out. I have an Instagram page, @ComplaintsPod. Check it out. The link to the merch store is at the Instagram page. Check that out too. I don't make any money off that. How about this? If you buy something, I'll donate it to Jimmy G's cause. How about that? Ooh, that's a great deal, Dave. Yeah. No, just fucking go to Jimmy G's and donate. Don't buy any of my shit. But if you want to buy some shit, that's fine. I have a Facebook page, but fuck Facebook. I have a YouTube page that I haven't done anything with, so it's kind of useless. We are on the road to 100. #road to 100. Still trying to formulate a plan. AP Dave suggested that I try to have a live call-in show. I am unable to figure that out. I don't think that's a thing. So it might be like an Instagram live thing, or it might be Twitter Spaces. I don't know. Instagram live might be the way to go, but I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do that properly. So who knows? You might see a bunch of short test runs on the Instagram live, because I think I'm kind of leaning towards that, where I do, an entire episode on the Instagram live. And then, hopefully my 5 listeners will join in and, at least for a few minutes, and submit comments, questions, complaints, and observations. See what I did there? But listen, that's it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Please, as always, I'm probably forgetting something here that in the end of the show spiel. I probably am, but I don't know. I'm hungry. Please tell your friends, tell your moms, Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Godspeed. Ta ta.